What's up, Cloud Gamers? Welcome to another episode of CGX Cast. This is episode 57, and boy, oh boy, do we got so much to talk about today. What an incredible week has it been for Cloud Gaming. Guys, insane. So much to discuss. We got a special guest with us today, Dr. Space. Call you Doc. What is good, man? Good to have you in this panel.
Thanks for the invitation, Ace.
For sure, for sure.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Great, good stuff, good stuff. And as you guys know, there's a controversial video that we put out this week. A hint, Duncan has the background of that video going up, the game. So we'll be discussing that. Just try to get some expert knowledge here with GTP on. And Chief was supposed to make it, but we'll see if he hops on. But yeah, and I'll give you guys my feedback on it too, but should be quite interesting to discuss. But yeah, this is going to be an amazing show because I feel like so far this is the best cloud gaming week, hands down. So much to talk about. So before we do, if you guys don't mind, hit the polls. This is fun to just watch throughout the podcast to see, right? Who comes out on top at the end. We'll take a look at it, right? So let's get into this, y'all. So Amazon Luna gave us a roadmap of October. They have some incredible games coming. I feel like this was cool because they want to showcase, hey, we have Ubisoft Plus too. So we'll talk about Amazon Luna's October roadmap. We have GeForce Now with an incredible week. EA coming back to the platform. We'll discuss that, get the members of the panel's thoughts on that, right? Google Stadia had an incredible week, right? FIFA releasing 6 pro games this week. 2 of them I would say was AA, AAA caliber. And overall, good round of good promotions going and new features to the platform this week. So really busy week. And then Tokyo Game Show went on this week, and Xbox Cloud Gaming was there with 6 games releasing to the xCloud platform this week. So we'll talk about all of that. Like I said, busy week. And if we have time, we'll discuss the rumors of the PlayStation Now games coming in the month of October, and then Shadow PC upgrades going to. So again, y'all, this is going to be absolutely insane. But before we get started, let's check in with the members of the panel, see how these guys are doing, and see what games they've been playing. So to get started, let's see, Duncan, how are you, sir? What have you been playing? What platform?
I just want to put this on record. I am just an occasional guest here once a week.
So let's clarify that to start. So we're somehow like together, right? People think, because Duncan. So let me just clarify what CGX Cast is, right? It's a podcast that we have once a week on a Saturday, and these members on here are members of the podcast, right? These 3 people that run CGX, Monkey, myself, and Chief, right? We are the 3 members of CGX, and these are the panel members. So just want to clarify that we get a lot of confusion with people thinking everyone on here runs CGX, but Duncan, thank you for bringing that up.
No, I
just clarify that.
Yeah, I think it was pretty clear this week. There's some interesting characters out there who don't know what is going on.
Crazy. It's crazy.
So I think I put a tweet out earlier in the week, and it's still going on. So I just want to get that. If I'm going to damage anybody, it's going to be myself. I'm going to damage. I don't want to damage anybody else.
We all know CGX is Duncan's show.
No, we don't.
So whatever goes wrong here, just blame Duncan because this.
Yeah,
so I don't know what's going on.
That's my fault.
So my camera is just
direct
going
the outrage
crazy
here.
Today, y'all. I don't know what's happening, man. It's crazy. I'm gonna shut it off for a bit, and then I'll shut it back online. It's so weird. I don't know what's happening.
You tried turning it off and on again?
Yeah, and I just restarted. Oh, sure, I forgot to restart the PC. That might be it. Anywho, let's continue. Check in with you, Duncan. How are you doing, sir?
I am doing great. I'll just give you a recap of what I've actually just been playing today. I've been playing just today on GFN. I was playing some Dragon Age, which we're going to be coming on to probably later.
Yes, sir.
And me and Kelly were playing CFAs. I was actually playing it on my phone, which was absolutely great crack. It's working extremely well for me. xCloud. I've dropped into my Slay the Spire. My Slay the Spire addiction is back, and it is scary as anything. So I have been just having a lot of fun playing different games, and I dropped into the Stadia Pro games yesterday as well. Gave them a quick look at what game we're probably going to come on to there. So fun.
Cool, man. Again, so much to play this week. Duncan's good having you on here. How about you, GTP? What you been up to, man? What game have you been playing? What platform?
I've literally been playing everywhere. I don't know. This week, I mean, especially if you create any content, this week has been insane, especially for cloud. Especially for cloud. And I'll say like Thursday too. It felt like every hour a new game showed up somewhere. Like especially on like xCloud, it was like, wait a minute, one after another, and it just kept happening. So I just got into everything. You know, the EA games on GFN. Been playing all of those and messing with those. xCloud, I've been playing Scarlet Nexus and Marvel Avengers through xCloud. It's been really good. What else? Astria Ascending I've been messing with. I want them to put touch controls on xCloud for that game because it's perfect for mobile. It's a game I don't mind on a small screen. It's pretty cool. If you haven't tried Astria Ascending, you'll know what I mean as soon as you try it. Like, touch controls soon, please. And yeah, Hot Wheels Unleashed, another one on Switch and on GeForce Now. I've been playing that a good bit, and my son likes it because he likes to open the boxes and see what car we get and check it out. So that's been fun too.
Cool. I thought you said that game what did you call it?
Astria Ascending?
Yeah, I thought you said they had touch controls.
No, Scarlet Nexus does, but
that's interesting.
Avengers does not, and Astria does not. And out of the three that they had there, like Astria should have it. I'm sure. I bet we get them. Like I'm sure we'll get them soon enough. That was a day and date release, so they may not have been able to have that ready for launch. But I bet they're working on it now because it's the perfect game for touch controls.
For sure. Look who popped in. GTP again. Good to have you on here, man. Again, you've been gaming, which is really cool to see. Ben, you in the Matrix, sir?
Something like that.
How are you doing? So let's just get you in here. How you been? What you been playing? What platform?
What have I been playing? I was playing some Marvel's Avengers on xCloud the other day, trying that out.
How was it?
It was pretty good. It was a little pixelated compared to like the Stadia version in my opinion, but it was really smooth. It played really well. As far as playability, it was really good. It just visuals could be a little bit better. What else did I play this week? I know there was more of it. I just been so busy. Oh, I dove into Scarlet Nexus as well on there. That was a lot of fun.
Good. So how was the graphics for you? I forgot to ask you about this GTP for Scarlet Nexus because I'm having some issues with the graphics.
It's kind of funny you bring that up because when I first started playing it, I was like, this is the $60 game I almost bought.
Yeah.
Like, because I'm looking at it. But honestly, the more I get into it, the more I began to appreciate the art style and what they're going for. So kind of like, if they made it, I guess, too shiny or made it look too good with that art style, I don't know. It could have clashed and had some kind of issue. I get the idea of what the world's supposed to look like, so it's kind of the experience we're supposed to have, and I did get used to it. But yeah, like when I first fired it up, like the first hour, it was like ticking in my brain, like, is that it? But I began to appreciate it for what it was, and I'm actually really liking Scarlet Nexus, which is surprising. I don't get into those games much, but I keep going back to it and playing some more here and there, especially on the phone, like with the Backbone or whatever. I grab it real quick, do a little bit of Scarlet Nexus, and it's been good. So,
yeah, I agree. Cool. I thought the art style on that was beautiful. I love it, but it's
didn't it seem like
art style's
blurry
good.
for you guys though? Like, wasn't it? What's the word we're using on the disco that people hate it? to call
Pixelated.
Yeah,
I didn't have it as much. Like Avengers, a little bit more pixelation, like Ben was saying, but still really good for me here where I'm at. But Scarlet Nexus, I really don't think I had much of, and I think that game's a little easier to run, a little easier to get the 60 FPS on the Blade, so I don't think it's having as much trouble streaming it. But I didn't really have much of that for me, no.
I agree. It was. I said it was a little pixelated at times, but it cleaned up really well. Like it was just occasionally. Avengers, it was a lot more often though.
Yeah. So I guess we'll get into it, but that is still an issue, even with the Series X Blade, right? The pixelated stuff that's going on with xCloud. But we'll get more into that when we cover xCloud. We have a lot to cover. Let's check in with Monkey again. We saved the best for last year, so Space is gonna get his introduction.
Like you're talking about me there. I was like, nope.
You're good. Go ahead.
Oh, guys, I haven't done much gaming this week, man. Work is kicking my ass.
Yeah, dude.
But I'm gonna say it again. I have a new 4K TV, and it is the absolute. It's brilliant. I was going to say a real bad swear word there. I don't know how I'll live without it, man.
You got a Shield TV too, right?
I've got the Shield TV too.
Nice.
It's upscaling everything, man. So I've been played a wee bit of Tales of Arise in 4K with the Shadow on my NVIDIA Shield on my new TV, and that game just is so good. I'm still not finished it yet though. Scarlet Nexus, I jumped into the other night. I said, I'll jump in and try this, see how it's running. You know, just curious. And 11 p.m. went, midnight went, 1 a.m. went, got to half one, and I thought, shit, I need to go to bed, man. But like you guys, I was having those pixelation issues. I get it every now and again. It's like an infrequent occurrence, so there's not really any time frame on it. It's not like after a couple of hours of play, the frames start dropping and things like that or anything like that. Just every now and again. It's as if they need to up the bitrate. You know, them streaming it to us. I think we need a higher bitrate. We can't do anything about that. So Xbox need to sort that out. But all those hours went past and I said, I need to stop this, man, because I won't go back to another game if I carry on playing. Other than that, nothing really, man. Nothing, guys. Sorry. Lemnis or Lemniscate, whatever you want to call it. Have no idea what the hell is going on in that game, man. It is so confusing.
And I wanted to play that game so bad. I've been looking forward to it for months, but it came out the same day as New World. I was like, I can't. I got to do New World.
And looks good. Runs really good on xCloud. I didn't really have any issues with that. I don't think it's very demanding on the hardware. But there was no matchmaking, so it was like playing against the computer in the beginning, which was a bit boring. So I had to adjust a lot of sensitivity settings. Like it was extremely sensitive when I first went in. And I don't often have to do that, especially on controller. Usually it's just, away you go. Yep. So, no, I need to play more of the game. I think it's a wee bit too complicated to jump in and out of. But we'll wait and see. We'll play more.
So I was supposed to cover that game for the XS channel, and every time I went to the tutorial and I was feeling really good about myself. I was like, I got the concept down. Went to play the game, you see like people just going, all these things happen. Like, yo, what the hell am I supposed to be doing in this game?
Yeah,
it's so complicated, man.
You get like 25 seconds to carry out objectives, and then the other team gets 25 seconds.
From what I understand, it's basically like if chess was a shooter with a time involved. It's pretty much how it works.
Too complicated for me, man. I just want to shoot people, man.
When I get to playing, I'm probably gonna love it. I just haven't had a chance yet. Too much has happened this week.
It's crazy, but. Monkey, good to have you on here. Let's check in with Space. Doctor, how are you doing today, sir? And what have you been playing? What platform?
I'm really good, by the way. Thanks again for inviting me here.
Absolutely.
There has been a lot to play this week, and I will admit that I've been stuck pretty much on one game, and that is New World. It dropped during the weekend. It's been keeping me glued to my seat. So I meant to play more Kena Bridge of Spirit, and there's a few other games I wanted to look. Also, those huge EA drops on GeForce Now. I did fire up the Dragon Age Inquisition just to test it out how it felt, but I found myself glued again to New World because the game is just so incredible. I'm really loving it. So congratulations for Amazon for making that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Good to have you on here. I was just talking to Dr. Spaceman earlier, man. Watch his podcast and big fan of his content. And when it comes to like the discussion piece here, I think you're very knowledgeable and insightful. So it's going to be pretty cool to hear what you have to say with the cloud gaming news for this week. But as always, man, good to have you on here.
Thanks, man.
All right, cool. So let's say what's up to the viewers, the people who are watching, and you guys are on here. So appreciate you guys being here. Again, something that you can do is go vote on the poll, and it's always good fun to watch to see what y'all's thoughts on who had the best cloud gaming news for this week. But if you remember, you get cool emojis as well, and you can let the people know by your emojis who you thought had the best week this week. But to get started, let's say what's up to you guys. Zero Games for me, what's up? Ali, good to see you on here, my dude. Rage Quit, what's up, man? Good to have you on here. Latch, I'm gonna call you Latch. Sorry if I'm butchering your name. Yes, again, if we have time, we'll get to that. But again, a lot of news this week. Dan, good to see you. Is this actually this live? You're here live, yeah. Good to see you on here. Case Ball UK, what is good? Yeah, we'll hopefully get to that. You guys want to talk about that? That's going to be huge, man. If that happens, it's going to be huge, right? Holtz, it's good to see you. Hopefully you can make it. Didn't check the disco to know what's going to happen with you joining. But last I checked, he said there's a possibility. So hope we'll see you in here. Rock, it's good to have you on here, my dude. So just shout out, Rock kicked off his show, was watching it this week. Good stuff overall. You guys definitely make sure you check out his show. It's pretty cool, man.
Housemates.
It's
Housemates, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good stuff. Just kicking back, talking about just stuff in general, man. It was fun. Good guests, good members of the panel for sure. So check that out. Good stuff overall. Just making sure I'm not missing anyone here. Makers of Chaos, good to see you on here, my dude. Mister, good to see you on here as well. Victor, good to see you. Nimbus, again, we have another channel, Cloud Gaming Access. It's a streaming channel, so Nimbus is taking charge of that channel. So if you're not subscribed yet, check it out. Check him out. Good stuff overall. All right, cool. Let's get into this, man. We're going to start off with Amazon Luna. What a week did they have? So they give us a roadmap of the games that are coming to the Luna platform this week. So this month, October. So we have Alien Isolation, which is a good game if you guys don't know anything about it. I would say that's their biggest game that's not an Ubisoft game, right? And then we have Far Cry 6, Riders Republic, both coming on the Ubisoft Plus channel. And we have a game called Monster Harvest, which is going to be in the family channel. So it's pretty cool because they have games for every single one of these channels releasing. So Alien Isolation's in Luna Plus, Monster Harvest Family, and then Far Cry 6 and Riders is going to be in Ubisoft Plus. So what do you guys think? Do you think this is a pattern that we're going to see moving forward where every month they'll try to like have a game for each channel? I don't know if that's possible with Ubisoft Plus, but I think it's interesting, the breakdown of these games. But let's get started there. Do want to talk about Jeff Bezos' tweet and New World releasing, but not on Luna. But we'll start off with the games coming out for the month of October. So let's start with GTP on this one, sir. What are your thoughts on these games coming to Amazon Luna for this month?
I like this list when I saw them posted up on Twitter, and I saw a lot of positive feedback too from a lot of people on there. Alien Isolation, obviously not a new game, but like you said, a pretty big game for them to get on the Luna Plus channel. You know, when it comes out of beta, it may be more, but right now we're still paying that $6 a month. So each one of these games they add is like, okay, cool. And that's a game that actually, surprisingly, I haven't played anywhere, and it's been all over the place. I just never really played it. So, you know, I'm going to test it on Luna and probably play it a good bit there. And that's just one thing that I like about that service. I think me and you were talking last week a little bit about how much we really love Luna right now, but the games that we want to play, just they're not there enough to keep pulling us back to use it. So I like when a game will bring me over and have me play for a little bit over there. Far Cry 6 and Riders Republic, I'm really looking forward to testing out on the Ubisoft channel for them, because those games have been running better and better. When that channel first launched, to be honest, like the frame rates were a little rough, the stream was a little choppy, you know, and I think you would agree when Luna first had that channel. But now those games are running really good, and I play a lot of my Ubisoft games over there on Luna, so I'm looking forward to those. And then they threw Monster Harvest on Family Channel, so I don't think they'll do this all the time. And as they add more and more channels, like what they have the retro channel coming, they'll probably have an EA channel coming and stuff like that. They may not have games for every channel every month, but the way Luna's headed, they'll have something. There's always going to be something dropping on the channels. It's just as they get more, it'll be more difficult. But I think they're doing a good job. I mean, it was a little quiet last week, but we expected that with the big news we've been getting. And I think these are good releases. October is definitely a decent month for them.
Yeah, agreed. Just curious, do you think we'll see 4K with these big games coming for Luna?
I don't know if they're ready to do it yet. I don't know. Their 1080p 60 is just getting so good. You know, I know they've been fine-tuning all that. I don't know. That coming soon has been there for so long.
Yeah.
My gut's been telling me, like, we'll get it here, like, before the end of the year. But I'm just not sure. I hope so. Every time I see an update on the app, when I open it, I go check that like right away to see if they added the 4K stream yet. So, but they're probably also like, they may want to be able to render games at 4K and stream them at 4K. And I've heard some stuff about them wanting to stack GPUs and be able to access multiple layers or blades to do this, or to pull off the resolution in the stream. So, you know, they may be wanting to do something different too. And I'm kind of willing to wait for that if that's what they're trying to get to. But we'll we'll have to see what they do with it. I don't know how.
What do you think will come first, 4K or extending to other countries?
4K.
I was just thinking
4K, absolutely.
I was saying last week, I think the U.S. is just going to continue being that building block of them getting the service where they think it's in a decent, almost like full service standpoint, and then release it still in beta form to the rest of the, you know, expand countries and areas, and then eventually turn off the beta tag. But I think the U.S. is going to get a pretty close to finished product before they start pushing it out. And some people might not like that, but if that's a way for them to move quicker and have good quality control, and I've seen huge improvement so far, you know, it might be worth the wait.
I agree. I think it's going to be, we're going to have the finished product before it rolls out to the rest of the world, and then they're just going to flip the switch and it's going to be everywhere at that point. I do think that, I feel like 4K is going to be a call and response kind of thing between Xbox and Luna. Like the second one does it, then the other one's going to do it like that same week or the next week. I don't think they're going to be far apart when it happens.
Yeah. Guys, you know, it's getting close to, because Xbox, I think they hinted at 4K end of this year, and we're in October, right? And for me with Luna, I would think if 4K was coming out this year for this platform, it'll be now, because Far Cry 6, I would have to say, is probably going to be the biggest game this year, right? And it'll be a good way for them to showcase it. But the game releases next week, so I don't know if they'll launch 4K by then. But unless they have other channels, maybe EA or Capcom channels with big hitters coming that we don't know about yet. But I would say if you're gonna push 4K out, Far Cry 6 would be like a good game to showcase it off, right? But we'll see.
I was also going to say about Alien Isolation, that's been free on Epic Game Store as well, and it's coming to Luna Plus, and it's on Prime Gaming right now as a free game for PC gamers. If they
damn you! I was going to mention that.
It's pretty much everywhere.
That's cool, man. Have to go get that. That game looks incredible. It looks good. I was watching it. It looks scary as crap, but it looks fun. So might have to go grab that too. But yeah, how about you, Duncan? What's your take on the Luna news this week?
Sorry, I stole your thunder, Duncan.
Yes, because I was going to be making lots of points with that, what you just said, but I'll start off. I actually am underwhelmed with this announcement this week. 3 games going to 3 different channels. This isn't, oh my god, let's go pick on Luna. If this was any other platform, I think we would be saying stuff. I think it's fair to be saying
so
that.
4 games for the whole month, guys. Let's just be clear, right?
Yeah.
If you look at it that way, GFN, like I was gonna say, they pooped this out in their sleep, bro. Right? But this is 4 games in a month. It's kind of a lot.
GFN basically adds up to almost 4 games every 2 or 3 days if you start counting.
Yeah.
But if you talk about xCloud, it's probably
It's this.
5 to 10
No,
games a month.
It's less.
It's far less than xCloud as well. I think it's good that they've actually put in a big game in Alien Isolation, because that is even though it's an older game, it is good for it to be there. I just wish there was a couple more, chucking in a couple more indie games there, smaller games, just to have a regular sort of content. But Alien Isolation going is absolutely amazing. As Ben stole my point, I was going to say it looks like they've got some sort of deal going on there, because it's with Amazon Prime as well. So go check that out. You can get that for the Epic Game Store. If you're a Prime member, the game I would definitely get, and this is if you're a GFN user, is Star Wars Squadrons, because that is going to Origin.
I was about to say that. There's some really good games on there right now.
We're going to be coming on to the EA section there. So I think that is probably going to be maybe a good shite for that coming down the line. Oh, yeah. So are we talking about the Jeff Bezos comment?
We'll get to that.
Okay. I'm hoping we're going to maybe get new word during the month to maybe bump this up a hell of a lot more. I don't see it happening, but I think it's okay. It's more games into the subscription, but it's split across all the different subscriptions, which makes it a bit more of a harder sell.
Okay. Fair enough. How about you, Ben? What's your take here?
Sorry, I got sidetracked. Take on
Luna's news this week.
Oh, Luna's news. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's not a lot of news, but Amazon's been a little overwhelmed with New World, so I'm not really surprised that it's not a lot of news. They'll get there. It's not their month. They've had good months. This is just not one of them.
Yeah. So this is quite interesting, because it seems like y'all are not letting them before it would be, they still have the beta tag, so it's okay, right? It seems like
I'm still sitting here like y'all are nuts. They're in beta. These are great games.
Oh, so GTP still standing by that? Okay.
I'm standing by. Like I actually am completely opposite of Duncan this week. So hey, no yes man here when it comes to me and Duncan. But no, I see it completely differently, and I think it's awesome that it may only be 1 game per channel, but I'd rather that than one channel gets a bunch, none on the other. People are going to subscribe to different ones. So it's not a lot, but I like it for where the service is right now. US only in beta and stuff. That I think this is pretty strong. I don't have a problem with it.
All their trials and test runs and 7-day trials that they've done have been for Prime members. So it's not like they're really trying to hit a huge audience right now. So it's not just that they're in beta; it's that they're in beta to a small-ish audience, and they want it to work well rather than be out to everybody.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They want to deliver a good product.
They want to deliver a good. Okay.
I just want to clarify this. Yes, I don't think it is a strong month, but the beta tag is still there for me. The beta tag, I'm just putting this out here, the beta tag, I just think it could have been better. They could have dropped a couple more games in here and there. Alien Isolation is a good get for them, and we do know that the shadow of New World is there, and we know it is coming. It's just a matter of when it's coming. we could see a big kickoff again when they drop that. I think they might be trying to ride this wave a bit, sort of echoing the other guy's points there. But again, I just call it as I say it. I think there just could have been a couple more games there.
Yeah, I agree.
No,
because
I agree. I agree with the New World thing. I think it's trying to announce a bunch of games from your own company. I mean, if Google was into gaming other than Stadia, they would probably do something similar, but they really have no gaming background other than Stadia. Whereas Amazon has Twitch, they have Prime Gaming, they have all this other stuff. So New World is such huge news that they take their beta tag, which doesn't have a whole lot of attention yet to begin with outside of our cloud gaming community, and they try and announce something big, is going to be completely overshadowed at this point. So there's really no point in doing that. So anything big, they should just save for a month or two from now, once New World not necessarily is fizzled out, but the news isn't quite as overshadowing.
Do you know who else is in beta right now? Because they're killing it, bro. Like this beta tag, we're in October, fellas. I mean, this is like a year in beta, right? And 4 games a month. Yes, again, Far Cry, but Xbox Cloud Gaming's in beta too, man. We're not giving them excuses. This is ridiculous, man. 4 games this month is I mean, there's no excuse for that, man.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's an excuse necessarily, but Xbox has a lot more deals and contracts going on, so they can afford to launch a ton of games all the time. Amazon has a lot of contracts for Prime Gaming, but not necessarily for Luna. And since they're still in beta, I bet they're still working on that. I mean, I don't know. I don't know the insides of it's working. This is just a guess, but I would say that has something to do with it. They both, I mean, I'd say Xbox feels more like beta. I love cloud gaming, like Xbox Cloud Gaming, but it's a little more inconsistent than Luna, in my opinion, in terms of like streaming quality. In terms of playability, well, latency, great. Like I don't have hardly any issues with latency on Xbox Cloud Gaming. It runs really well, and if I'm on a small enough screen, I can't really tell. But if I'm playing cloud gaming on a bigger screen, you can see that degradation a little bit more often. But the games, the fact that they have so many games and the fact that the latency is low almost makes up for it, and I can kind of almost overlook it most of the time. I don't know, Jerry, what do you think about that?
Yeah, they're both the beta conversation, man. You always got to devil advocate the beta conversation, Ace, and bring out the beta of everything.
That's right, man.
Look, I can't give. I've said before, I don't care about the beta as much. I don't really have time frames. As long as the finished product is where they want it to be for everybody. Look at where GFN is now, and they started beta in 2015 and came out of beta in 2019 February. So. Yeah, I don't. That was like a 5-year beta that they had when they got going. So, and these things I've seen other products do similar. I just personally don't really have a problem with the beta thing. And like Ben was saying, Luna's stream quality and consistency is better, but they're in beta, but their content isn't there. Xbox has the content and the latency's fine, but the picture quality isn't always there. So these services still have a little ways to go. They're not ready to be out of beta. If xCloud or Luna left beta tomorrow, it would be a huge mistake because they would wind up in a position like Stadia where they're expected to deliver on a certain quality that they're not ready to yet. So I'm fine with it. I don't have an issue with it.
Okay. Fair enough. I think they can push the pedal a little bit, man. It's just too slow for me personally.
Cloud gamers are also in a hurry, understandably, because especially for someone like you, Ace, who does depend fully on cloud gaming, you're not going to have an Xbox and a PlayStation next to you and all that. You're missing out on game experiences, and you voice that frustration yourself. That happens. So the faster cloud gaming can get its butt in gear and offer you guys more and more games, and so you're not missing out. That's what we want. And so I get everyone wanting cloud to hurry up, but if it hurries up too quickly, it won't make it. You need the masses to start adopting it, so they've got to be careful not to stumble. But I understand being in a hurry.
Nicely said. Good point with that.
You have to remember that cloud gaming had a lot of false start in the past.
Yes.
With
don't you dare! Don't you?
Listen. If OnLive had the internet speed we have now, OnLive would have been king, man. Is that where you go?
I'm going to tell you now, my internet speed back when on live was fantastic. I think it was about it was either
56K modem.
I think it was about 50 meg. It could have even been up to 100.
Yeah, the bandwidth, high bandwidth internet,
and unlimited as well. Because the infrastructure over here in the UK is a lot better for the telecoms for the most part than you guys in the States, because
100%. It's a lot better. I can
yes.
tell you that. I work in the industry.
We've got all the competition over here. So, no, you can't be talking about on live. No,
but I'm not just talking about on live. Remember, PlayStation Now, we actually bought Gaikai.
Yeah.
So they delivered the platform, but it was lackluster because it was a limited resolution, 720p. It was on devices that were not really adapted for cloud gaming. Remember back then?
The Nokia N-Gage, was it?
No, it's after that though.
It was after.
You had the Sony Ericsson phones, the Xperia Z that you were able to play it on.
I remember that.
Sony Bravia TVs, and also there was a PlayStation Vita, but they all had older Wi-Fi chips in it. So playing cloud gaming on those adds a ton of latency. So the technology wasn't ready.
This is where I completely and utterly disagree with you on this point. What we're actually seeing in the Stadia community is exactly what was going on in the OnLive community. It was all about the C word. And what's the C word?
Content.
Content was the issue with OnLive. What Stadia is actually doing at this moment in time, giving away the console we'll call it, giving away the Chromecast, giving away all this, that's exactly what OnLive are doing as well. You could pick up games for next to nothing. You bought a game, they were chucking off these micro consoles to go to it, but the problem was they didn't have the games. EA didn't support them. All the big publishers, bar the publisher begins with the letter U, was the only one who didn't do it. But I could talk about it all night, but basically the parallel, if you see what's going on with Stadia, that is what's going on, what happened with OnLive as well. Sorry, Dr. Spaceman.
Can we just take a sec to just pay some respect to OnLive with just the ambition for what they were trying to do with 56K modems, bro? Like, shout outs to them, man. It worked. It worked. I think in the States it was 56K at the time, right?
No, back then in 2010? I forget when I tried OnLive. What year was that, Duncan?
High-speed internet was starting.
So 2010, 2011. Yeah, I still had like 200 megabits down even back then with broadband. Yeah, my 56K modem was gone in like 2001, 2002 here.
I was using
most people had over 30 megabyte per second, like in their houses. Anyone who had an up-to-date internet connection back then, at least 30 megabyte per second.
Yeah, that's about right. I had about 25 at the time.
Okay. Mm-hmm. But again, respect, right? Respect. All right, let's move on, guys.
I want to talk about OnLive. Everybody in the chat wants to talk about OnLive as well.
All right, I don't get to say anything about Luna. I've just been sitting here eating popcorn and listening to you guys. Like, this is great. I'm just a passenger tonight.
You're me this week. Just sit there and listen to everything.
Well, yeah, just munching.
If I can just add a bit of, go ahead and Hell Monkey.
I was just going to say, I'm reserving comment from Luna from here on out until they bring the freaking thing over here, man. Like, I don't feel I can really comment having not using it. The games don't interest me that came this week. So until they bring it over here, even in the state of beta that it's in now, not interested, man. Do better, Amazon.
Okay, fair enough. Space, where you at, man?
I was lucky enough to try Luna for a period of 2 weeks, the trial version, because I'm in Canada. Yeah. So Luna is not released over here. But I was able to get into the system, create an American account, open the trial version of the Luna, and try it out. It's just after the 2 weeks, payment wouldn't process because I got a Canadian credit card and not an American one. But the experience I had, even though I'm not within the territory that's covered by Luna, it was fantastic. Latency was extremely low. Picture quality was amazing. So I had a very great experience with Luna. As for the content, why we're not seeing as many games that we would like to coming out to Luna, it's still in beta, and Amazon is not even letting everyone in. It's still very slow content going. Very slow, very little crowd that has access to it because they want to make sure they got it right, and that anyone who gets in understand that this is a beta, but it's still working extremely well. So once they unlock out of the beta and they make it available that you can just log into Luna, create your account, and start playing, games will be dropping in throws. As for the reason why New World, I don't know if it was a subject for later, why New World isn't on there. Well, it's partly because of that, and also the fact that I'm fairly sure there's people at Amazon working on the AWS infrastructure that does a liaison with gaming, who normally works with Luna and now are busy with New World. They've been pumping new servers hours after the game launched. There was a lot of queue over in Europe when it launched over there and got delayed over the East Coast. The queues were humongous, so they kept popping new servers one after the other. They've done a tremendous job. They're also increasing the amount of people that can play per server. So I'm fairly sure those people doing this at the moment are usually the ones working on Luna. So they're not ready to put it on Luna because right now they need to release the game, and the personnel would be able to help out putting it on Luna is busy with something else right now. So once the game is fully released, they resolve the queue problems, everything is good, then there is a possibility we might see it on Luna, but not before that, because once it comes to Luna, it's a lot of players. There's a lot of people out there saying they're not able to play it on their computer because the game, it's not too demanding, but it's still pretty demanding. If you want to get graphics, you need a good PC. So a lot of people are actually interested in trying cloud computing just to play it, but it's not on Luna yet. So we have to give it time.
Yeah. So let's just move on to New World. Now this up. I don't want to spend it. We again have so much to cover. But real quick, just want to share a tweet. And Duncan, shout outs to you for letting us know about this tweet, because it's how I found out about it. But you were talking about like New World and why, it's probably not on Luna. And just by reading this tweet, you can tell like what this game meant for this company, for Amazon and their Amazon Game Studios, right? So this is the CEO. CEO of
not anymore.
Not anymore. That's what I was saying.
Yes.
But everyone knows Jeff
bottom right
Bezos.
hand corner, yes.
Go ahead.
Hide your messages, dude. We don't want to be seeing no saucy DMs.
Oh shit.
Oh,
You want to do what with what? Yes, what's going on there?
Sorry, guys. Was it dicey?
we'll slip up. It happens.
Was it dicey? I didn't
Super
even
spicy.
say it. Oh shit.
I hope your wife doesn't
Well,
watch.
you guys. Well, you guys, sorry.
Not to rewind.
Don't rewind. Just stay focused. All right. So again, y'all, this is big, right? Just reading the tweet. After many failures and setback in gaming, we have a success. So proud of the team for the persistence. View setback as helpful obstacles to drive learning. Whatever your goals are, do not give up, no matter how hard it gets. So this is huge, man. I retweet this as saying it was gold. Because again, number one, it shows like how much Crucible cancellation and all the other failures meant to the studios. I'm sure they had conversations about, hey, this is not working, we should probably shut this down. Again, we talk about this in this podcast when Xbox was doing terrible before Phil Spencer came in. There was those conversations about, shutting the whole gaming division, right? And we hear about what happened to Google Studios. So what this tells me is that with all the failures that occurred with Amazon and the gaming studios, they managed to push through. And because they did so, right, perseverance, persistence, you have something like New World, which is breaking records and is doing really well. So I just want to open this up to you guys here. How big is this for you guys? And what are your thoughts on Jeff Bezos tweeting about this? Anyone can jump in so we can just move on.
I mean,
You
I
can
think
jump in.
I think it's big. It shows priority. I mean, they needed this. They've been wanting to get into gaming for how long now? And I mean, they've been trying with Twitch and Prime Gaming and everything. And it's the first time they've had anything remotely that's even remotely close to a success. And it plays beautiful. The game's beautiful. It plays well. It's fun. I've been enjoying it. Um, yeah, I mean, it's important.
It is. It is for sure. Anyone else?
The fact that it's Jeff Bezos talking about this, we're talking about a guy who started Amazon from nothing and really made it the biggest company in the world. It's a guy who knows that you have to persist in a market you want to get through, no matter if what you have is working or not. You have to keep working until you make it a good product, and he doesn't take no for an answer. So the gaming division were making bad games, but the problem was not that they were not able to make good games, is that they didn't have the right product in hand. So instead of shutting it down and saving on costs, he saw the potential of gaming that keeps growing. It's now one of the biggest industry in the world of entertainment in the world. There's a lot of money to be made here. So by keep pushing and investing, yes, New World cost a lot of money to develop, but now they got a studio with a hit on their hands, and it's a hit that will probably last for a lot of time and recoup most of the costs, and they can follow on with other successes. So this is a man who knows how to start a good business, make it really profitable, and he's putting his seal of his approval on his on Amazon games, basically. So it really speaks large for what's in plan for them.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you, Space. Anyone else want to hop on this?
I was gonna say regarding Amazon Game Studio. Somebody asked if New World was coming to Luna and whether that was confirmed or not. And I saw an article a couple weeks ago where the head of the studio was saying he would love to put it on Luna. He didn't give a timeline or anything for the potential launch. One of the things that I saw was the fact that they don't really want Luna being played on mobile. It's not a mobile game. They don't want people playing it on a small screen. There's a lot of input that needs to be done to it. And so that was kind of their concern, is what I saw in the interview. So for those of you that were asking in the chat.
Okay. Thanks for that.
They want to do it, but they've got to find a way to make it work right first.
Right. Okay.
If I can just chime in on that part, though, if you play the game, there's a lot of inputs, but mostly it's already optimized to be played with a controller. Mm-hmm. I know that Ashes and Link, I've talked with them, and they were in the closed beta a while ago, and there was controller input in that beta. It was unofficial, but it was possible to unlock it, and they said it worked really well. And the way your abilities are done, like you don't have, like most MMOs like World of Warcraft, for example, a full bar of skills that you turn on with your numbers, and it's like unlimited amount of combination of skills. You have 3 skills that you can equip per weapon. You can swap your weapon, and you have a few items you can equip, but it is manageable to put all of that on a controller.
It's manageable, but it's not optimized. It can be there. It's just not there yet.
I think the reason they kept it like that is because their goal is to put it eventually on a controller. So we're going to have to see in time. Mm-hmm. So with time, probably it'll go with a controller and then go to Luna.
Yeah, I think in time it will come. But yeah, anyway. Anyone else?
So I was just going to chime in. A couple of questions there in the chat. Gandar is asking if it considered the possibility that Luna will remain in the USA. And I sincerely hope not, since I already have an early access request in, and I am
Yeah.
in the UK. If
Yeah.
it wasn't coming outside of the USA, that
Yeah.
wouldn't be available to me. On the controller side of New World, Skyrim, Elder Scrolls, etc., all have controller inputs that work really well. Honestly, I'm very surprised that the New World doesn't have it at launch, and like Spaceman says, controller inputs you can do it. I did it during the beta, but I get sick and tired of remapping my controller every time I went in, so I just pursued on with keyboard and mouse, and yeah, it's coming, and I think since it's coming to the PC version of the game, that then tells me that there is no reason why it can't come to Luna along the way. I think it would be an absolute travesty if it doesn't go to Luna. And I'll tell you something, I am going to be one angry Scotsman if you bloody Americans get that before us on Luna. If that comes out and it's on Luna and in the US only, I am not going to be freaking happy, by the way. I swear to God, I'll not be happy.
I'll make sure I rub it in, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
of course you will.
To your comment, Al Monkey, there's been a lot of games that had no intentions to do controller that eventually did it. The Witcher was one of those big ones. I mean, The Witcher had zero intentions to do controller at first.
Yeah, but it wasn't back in 2007 when The Witcher first came out. PC gaming, you didn't get controllers really in PC gaming. That wasn't really a thing. But we're in 2021 now. I think if you're a developer, publisher, you have to make your game inclusive to everybody. Don't lock yourself behind console. Don't lock yourself behind PC, etc. Yes, it takes more work. Yes, it's probably more expensive to develop, across several different platforms, several different inputs. But in the long run, just like anything, you put the hard work in, you will reap the rewards. And New World is certainly an example of that. In terms of longevity, it's an MMO, man. They can literally add things on a weekly, monthly basis. The game is proving so popular, with the different factions, etc. There's going to be, several different faction, missions, daily challenges, monthly, weekly challenges, etc. You can, eventually make a new character, switch factions to try new things. And it's an MMO, man. It's literally the opportunities are endless with that game, just like all the others. Look at the Elder Scrolls. I mean, I could jump back into that tomorrow and lose another, month to 3 of my life in that game again. It's how easy it gets you in because there's so much content in these games. So I don't think the initial success is just a one-off sort of thing, a flash in the pan. I think it's going to be around for a long time because Amazon have put the work in. They've made this game work, and yeah, they're going to reap the rewards.
One thing I do like about what you said, Hell Monkey's accessibility in 2021. One thing that has come out, not just accessibility on different platforms, but accessibility for everyone, including those who have handicaps that need adapted ways of gaming. It's been very big for those with eyesight problems, with those with physical problems. There's the Xbox adaptive controller that's been very popular lately. And they've tried, especially in the last 2 years, to include more ways to adapt to games so that anyone can play. So seeing New World bringing controller support would add a lot of players who just not just because they don't have a PC, but they don't have the physical capacity to play with mouse and keyboard. By adding controller support, then you're giving them ways to adapt their plan and be able to play.
Yeah.
Cool. So I want to hop off Luna, man. Luna, I swear, it's like Stadia, man. They just find ways to take more time than no, but this is good. I love the input. You guys definitely had some good stuff, but we have so much more to discuss. So let's get right into it. GFN. As you guys know, GFN Thursday happens every Thursday, right? big news, EA is back on GFN. Who did a video? I was watching the video, and I think it was Eddie Player One, did a GFN Shorts video, and he was saying GFN actually, EA actually never left because Apex Legends has been on this platform for the longest.
That's correct.
So they really never left, but they brought some of the games back, right? So we have Battlefield 1, we have Dragon Age, we have what I'm drawing a blank on the other games.
Unravel 2.
That and one more.
Mirror's Edge Catalyst.
There we go. So those games released for EA, but it's not only that. My show notes is just bugging the hell out, man. But we had some other games released for GFN for Thursday, and I'll list it. So there's one called Away the Survival Series, Lemon's Gate, which also released on xCloud, The Eternal Cylinder, Hot Wheels Unleashed, which a lot of us have talked about here, Industria, The Last Friend, Rogue Lords, Europa, Battlefield 1, Dragon Age, Mirror's Edge, Unravel 2, Rustler, and Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Blacklist, and this is from Ubisoft Connect. What a freaking list. What a list. Again, we talked last week about how good that list was. Here we go again. GFN with an incredible week. So just want to open it up to you guys and see what your thoughts are with the GFN news for this week to get started. Ben, what's your take on GFN news?
I was gonna say I know what Jerry's thoughts are. His thoughts are he's disappointed that he's the only one that was really excited for Hot Wheels.
No, Hot Wheels is fun, man. It's fun.
I'm actually interested in that one.
I would love to play it. I just can't buy it right now. I gotta wait. But
it's $25.
Duncan bought mine for me. Cheers, Duncan.
Yeah, I still gotta wait to buy it. But I just spent a lot of money to fix my car.
Oof, that's tough. Yeah,
my clutch went out like 2 weeks ago, and I'd spent like $1,300 on it. So I'm not spending any money on games for a while. But
Ben, do you want the number of a good driving school?
I don't need
if
a
you
driving
bump
school.
Your clutch out.
I don't need a driving school. My throwout bearings went out.
But yeah, overall thoughts pretty good for you, Ben. GFN.
Yeah, I mean it's great to see EA coming back. I mean they never really left, but they took most of their games off.
They did.
I had a feeling that we're coming back soon. But yeah, there's probably going to be more coming. It's just the beginning. Okay. In terms of the rest of the games, I mean that Europa game looks awesome. I claimed it. I haven't played it yet because it's free on Epic Games. If you guys haven't checked it out, Lemnis Gate. I've been looking forward to that for a while. I'm going to play it over on xCloud and my Series X because I don't have to pay for it. But yeah, other than that, yeah, both of those. And I feel like there's a new Splinter Cell game, like 2 or 3 of those every month that they add because there's so many of them.
Yeah.
And they just keep adding them to GFN. It's like, is it ever going to end?
This is so true. So Blacklist was a pretty good one, though, from what I remember. Okay. How about you, Duncan? What's your take on the GFN news for this week?
Yeah, the GFN news for this week has actually got me really excited for what is going forward. The games which have actually dropped belong in the EA. Dragon Age for me is the best one. I've done a lot of them. I know I'm going to get ripped for that one. But if I just start rhyming off some of these games which could actually start coming to GFN, you've got your big hitters and your FIFAs, your Maddens and all that sort of carry on. But then you've got some of the old school games and Dead Space with the remake coming out next year. You've got your Mass Effects. And for me, the game I want to actually see go to GFN is Command & Conquer Remastered. I think that would be an absolutely brilliant Wii game to go there. So I'm just excited of what is going forward now. And we expect standards with GFN. They have raised their standards up now. I am semi-expecting games from EA now to be day and date. So because EA are back on the platform, you would expect that the games are day and date now, with like Battlefield coming up. I'm going to give. That is what I think they have opened up with this new partnership with EA.
When do you think we'll see that, though? Do you think that's going to start happening like now?
I think Battlefield's going to be the first one going forward.
Interesting. Okay. Just one to look out for, yeah.
I think it is fair to be expecting this, because this is a brand new sort of partnership now. And if it's not going to be like that, I think we should be sort of told that it's don't be expecting these games day and date. It's going to be, they're going to drip feed them on. But, Hell Monkey's shaking his head there.
Yeah, they're never going to tell us it's not coming. Like, that's not.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
I do.
Because of the standards they have been setting for this whole year. For me, I think if Battlefield does not come, I think we'll be yapping about it. I know Ace will be anyway about it not coming. But I am really, really excited about EA coming back. The game which is actually stuck out for me, if you're looking for something completely different, Hot Wheels is going to get love off everybody there. It is Industrial, or whatever it's called, that industrial game there.
Is this another simulator? Man?
That's what I thought. I thought it was a simulator.
Let me see.
It isn't a simulator. It is It's a 4-hour game, and it is set in a completely and utterly. It's one of these different universe type games. It's 4 hours long. It is at a reasonable price point.
How much is it?
It's about £15, or maybe even so less than about maybe $20 mark there, and it's made by a group of 6 people. So that could be a real sleeper, and it might be actually worth checking out if you're looking for something a bit different and a bit smaller.
Okay, it looks like Half-Life Alyx, man, a little bit.
There's something about this. I was really taken aback after watching this. Because the way we do our GFN show, we don't actually go into the games. We do not go and pre-record stuff or go and investigate. I was expecting this to be a simulator, like Ace or a city builder, and it just completely took me away. And that is on my wish list, and I'm extremely close to actually buying that.
Interesting. Okay, looks good. Not gonna lie.
Is it a Big Brother thing, or?
It looks good. All right, how about you? Go ahead.
Yeah, it's got that sort of feel like a Bioshock, like a mini sort of Bioshock, if I did type of thing. You won't have any of the plasmids, but it's that sort of carry on and the look and the feel in that one.
Yeah, it looks good. How about you, Space? What was you taking GFN news for this week?
The EA news was a mic drop, or a bomb drop, if I can say.
Both. Because
especially the wording they use to talk about it, it's not just a deal, it's a partnership that they're signing. So definitely, and they did mention and communicate that more games are to come. So I'm fairly sure even next week we're going to see a bunch more EA games coming.
Holy crap, you think so? By next week?
I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
Right now they're just opening the valve and bringing EA games to GFN. I could be wrong, but I'm fairly sure we're going to see more EA games coming on GFN on a regular basis. As for the day and dates, we'd have to see, like for Battlefield 2042, if there was any wording in the contracts that they signed as for cloud gaming. But in theory, GFN is not always considered a platform legally. So it is, if the game is going to Steam or to Epic or to any of these platforms, GFN is more of a way to play those games. But then again, we've seen some contract. I think Resident Evil was mentioning, the contract that leaked was mentioning streaming platforms. So it's really case by case. We could have to wait for a year until Battlefield 2042 comes to GFN. Or literally what I heard from the feedback from the team at GFN is it just takes them hours to port a game. Like, for example, Kena, when it came out, they didn't have the version ready early because they had to wait for the actual version to drop, because the early version that's available for reviewers is basically a unfinished version, and they needed a finished version, which is not available because they were still working on the game hours before they release it. But they get a game and it's super fast to port over. So if the wording in the contract for Battlefield 2042 didn't include GFN, it is a possibility we could see it then that on there.
Okay. So let me ask you guys this question. I forgot to ask GTP and Duncan. No, we didn't get to you, GTP and Ben. Sorry. How big is this when it comes to them listening, right? Because again, this has been an outcry from the consumers. You go to the forums, people like, when is EA coming back? When is Activision coming back? Right? They're back in a way. How big is this? How big is it for them, like, listen to the community? And just add this to your response. How would you rate them when it comes to that, right? So again, Duncan, Ben, and Space, you can just jump in and let me know what your thoughts are with that as well.
Okay, I'll jump in since I've already spoke, so everybody else can speak for longer. I think they're absolutely amazing. The guys there, they listen, they talked to everybody. Their communication is pretty much on point. If there's stuff, even negative stuff they have to get out there, they try and get the negative stuff out there if the game's offline and stuff like that. So I think they are pretty damn good that way. So yeah. I'm really, really happy with the communication we're getting from them.
Cool. Anyone else want to hop on that?
I'll go last because I'm going to be the devil's advocate today.
Oh shit! Here we go. Go. So
do you want me to go?
No, not yet. No, not yet. Don't mess up the vibe here, man. It's good vibes right now. But GTP, let's get to you, sir.
Oh my god, I already know where Hell Monkey's gonna go, and I ain't gonna say it. We're gonna let him kick that off. But that's a whole discussion on its own. But I do realize with the 50 minutes we have left and all the news I'm looking at in front of me, we're gonna have to move. No. 7 Day and Date's great, right? Wonderful stuff. Hot Wheels is awesome. Play it if you haven't. What I really want to more talk about is the EA thing, because I get a lot of questions now since this happened about the day and dates, and we get it about xCloud as well and this type of thing. And we're really dealing with a whole new area here. When it comes to like day and dates, they would have to break up how that works, right? If you buy Battlefield 2042 on Origin and they allow it day and date on GFN, you're good to go. You would own it, you would get on. But if you're doing that through your subscription model, if you're an EA Play subscriber, you wouldn't have access because you get the games when they go to the vault, not day and date. That's a cheaper subscription model versus the more expensive model, the Pro model, where you would get that game day and date. So it's going to create a little bit more of people being confused about what is and isn't going to be included there and how that's going to work. So they really have to work that out. I don't think we see day and dates, just in my opinion, coming anytime soon, but I could be wrong for GFN. And I think it's the same thing for xCloud as well. The EA subscription with Game Pass is not the Pro type subscription. You don't get day and dates on Xbox for EA with that subscription. You never have. When it was a standalone or added to Game Pass, you never did. They come when they hit the vault, which is months later or 9 months later, a year later, whatever the case may be. So no, you won't see Battlefield 2042 in xCloud or Game Pass day and date because the subscription model doesn't allow for it. They would have to modify that, or they would have to do a special deal just for that game, and I don't think they're going to do that just for Battlefield. So I don't, as much as I want Battlefield day and date to hit, I don't see it happening for xCloud or GFN, but I would like to be proved wrong. Just there's a lot of sticky stuff there. Ubisoft has one sub. You pay one price, you get it all. They don't have like a broke down vault and all that kind of stuff. So it's a totally different thing what they do with Luna, Stadia, and all the other things. But it's a different animal here. The team at GFN is awesome, but it's also EA, right? Because they're not interested in porting games. They want to enter the cloud space, but they want to do it in the easiest way possible. And right now, what is that? It's Xbox because they don't have to pay for ports. And it's GFN because they don't have to pay for ports. And eventually Luna because it runs very similar as a PC would. They might not have to do a lot of work. So I see EA going where it's easiest to bring their games. And we do have some issues this week, though, so I don't want to keep harping on. I know where Hell Monkey's going to go, and I think it's important to talk about it because I know we're all getting flooded with messages, and while this news is freaking awesome, there is a cloud over it that needs to be discussed.
Let's go, Monkey.
So, NVIDIA gets on the buzzer on the phone. Yo-ho, EA, let's get this partnership going. Through this whole process, they didn't bother to address the bloody Origin issue of you can't log in to play a game more than twice a day, which, in my opinion, completely defeats the purpose of cloud gaming. Cloud gaming is can jump in anytime I like, wherever I like, on multiple devices, and that just has absolutely ruined it. I don't believe for a minute that they've done this and no one's had this discussion. There was some EA representative on a forum not long ago. I found it on Reddit. He didn't even know EA Games went to GFN this week. He had absolutely he or she had absolutely zero idea that EA Games were on GFN this week. Communication, man, come on. That's surely they can do better there. They have to do better. It's just put a dampener on the whole thing for me. Like, I ain't subscribing to EA Play now because of the issues. I'm not subscribing to Steam version because I'm not getting the games day and date, and I don't see the point in subscribing to Origin if I'm going to be limited to twice a day.
Yeah.
So I can only play my game twice a day. Like, get the hell out of here. That's not good enough, man. Just not good enough. You cannot address this any other way. It is just not good enough.
I've seen that other people have had that. I haven't had that issue, and I've been jumping right across it a load of places.
Yeah.
But have you been played through Origins or through Steam?
Both.
Both, because Steam doesn't have that problem. It's really Origins.
Mm-hmm.
So Steam opens the Origin launcher, so you can actually lock that up as well. I had all 4 of my games locked for 24 hours. I had to stop recording.
Doesn't Epic also have the same problem, or they used to have that same problem? I'm pretty sure I heard some people were locked out of Apex. Actually, it might just be Apex that had that problem.
Yeah, Apex is because it's through Origin. Yeah, people have it with Boosteroid as well as GFN beforehand.
Because on GFN you were accessing it. Oh, go ahead.
No, you're right. And it was Apex with Epic. Epic didn't have the problem with the login issue. They don't have that lockout same thing, but Apex on its own had that issue happening with them. Mm-hmm. Origin is really the only one that's got this lockup. And I was talking to Monkey earlier, like, I've had it happen locally, like set up like 3 PCs to do some testing, log out, log in, log out, log in, and I'm locked for 24 hours. It's not just the cloud. Origin is horrible about like 2 logins, 3 logins to a game. You're done. You're locked out for 24 hours and then you can log in again. But 2 more logins after that, you're locked out for 24 hours. Imagine being on the 1-hour free session, logging off and logging back onto your game because that's what you have to do with your 1-hour free session, and then you're locked out for 24 hours because you had to log out, and a new machine then went and connected.
There's a really easy fix as well that people don't talk about. Well, sorry, people already complain about. So with Ubisoft Plus, I have 2-factor authentication on to protect myself, my accounts from those sneaky little snipers. Why not just put 2-factor authentication on? And it pops up in my phone or your email. We've all got a device next to us that can get an email, instantly. 6-digit code, both I'm in. And then you're not limited. I think they should address that issue before.
My understanding is that this can be addressed and they can do something like that or a whitelist. Yeah. There's like a lot of things they can do, but from what I'm hearing, it's going to take like a while. Like, this isn't going away in a few days.
Yeah,
it's built
just from what I'm understanding.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You have to change a lot of things for this to happen, and it's not just flipping a switch.
No, I don't for a minute think it's just flipping a switch. But what I do think is this is an issue that EA should have addressed a long time ago on their own. And it's an issue that NVIDIA should have, with this new partnership, there's a contract there. I hope to God there's something in there that says you need to fix this for our service because our consumers will not be happy about this. And we're seeing it already. Day one, complaints all over the place.
Yeah, we'll see. Again, hopefully, like you guys are saying, the bummer with all this is it's probably going to be a hot minute before we see any fixes to this. But hopefully, there's something that can be done, because it is frustrating and it does kill the excitement of this, right? Imagine, right, Battlefield does come same day and date release, and you're trying to log in with Origin and you're getting locked out 24 hours. It's not fun. Nobody wants that. But yeah, it puts a damper on the EA news, but let's see. Hopefully that is something. I don't know how they'll fix it, but they can fix. But are we let's move on. We have so much. All right, so Google Stadia. And again, I think this has been, call me crazy, but Stadia's best week this year. I would say so. FIFA 22 released. You guys all know that we'll get into a little FIFA in a bit. But we got 6 pro games. And I would say out of the 6, we got 2 AA. 5 pro games. I thought Mafia made it 6, no? 5 pro games.
And this is one of the points I was going to be making. Over the space of 3 days, we have 3 different sets of pro games. On Tuesday.
All right, hold that. Let's just continue with the positive vibes, man. Positive vibes. All right, so 5 pro games, right? 2 games out of those, I would say, are heavy hitters with Control. I know some people might say that's old, but still, really good game. And then Mafia 3, which it's a good game. Performance-wise, it might not perform the best, but still a good game to get. And then, again, we said FIFA. And then we got some features, right? Finally, we can use voice chat on our phones, which is something I've been asking for the longest time. And then we have a full link feature, which pretty much lets you use your controller to game. And I still want to do some testing on this. Haven't really spent a lot of time with it. And then we have party chat, which is pretty cool. I don't know if it's party shots, it's party something, but pretty much you can find like local people to game with. Haven't really tested it out either. I know it's not available to a lot of people. So a lot of features, 5 pro games, 1 I would say AAA game with FIFA, and then they had a promotion to where if you buy a game for $50, $59.99 USD, you get a Chromecast and the controller with that. So overall, if you add this all up for this week alone, I would say that's a very impressive week. So real quick, I do want to check the polls just to see where people are at. So we have GeForce Now 42%, 111 votes, Stadia 37, so Stadia is second, xCloud is 19%, Luna's 2%. And we spent the most time on Luna. Cool. All right, so let's go. Let's open this up. Let's open this up to you guys in the panel. What's your take on the Stadia news this week? To get started, let's start with Space. I want the positive vibes to keep going for a little bit, man. Space, where you at?
Positive vibe.
It's
no, it's some pretty good games that have dropped on Stadia.
All right.
I don't know how long it's been. Basically, we knew Mafia 3 was coming to Stadia. We just didn't know when, and people have been asking for the longest time, and it's finally here. So that's positive.
It's good.
And also some features that have been teased for quite a while that have finally dropped, like the party chat feature you were talking about, and on the mobile, and also connecting the controller through the mobile. It's some good stuff that have been requested a lot and are finally coming to Stadia. So that's some positive. You want to wait until the negative, or
go for it? Go for it. It's your floor right now.
I don't understand how they got Mafia 3 to be another shadow drop. And also 2K said nothing on the game dropping because it is made by 2K if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, it is.
And they haven't mentioned anything about the game dropping. Not even a wink or anything. Compared to that, like with GFN, BioWare went and announced that Dragon Age Inquisition is now available on GeForce Now on their Twitter account. Now, Mafia 3 has been requested by the public. Keep asking, okay, week after week, when is Mafia 3 coming? People wanted it. And for the longest time, no comments, not even a confirmation that it is going to Stadia.
Yeah.
And then it just dropped out of the blue like that.
Yeah.
I find it weird. And also the quality, from what I heard, like 1080p 30, not optimal to play this game. So I'm not sure what happened there. If they just finally did the port because they were supposed to, they signed for it, and okay, here you go. If there was no advertising agreement at all on the game, so I'm not sure what is going on in there.
So the interesting thing is, you were saying, the community has been asking about this game, and they have been, because even Google Stadia knew that, right? If you go on their Twitter, we would like to extend our congratulations to everyone who's been asking about this game on Stadia. Your weekend is set. So they knew this is a game that has been requested. And they've been holding on to this one close to the chest for quite some time, right? So I do want to bring up, since you brought it up a little, what's up with this stealth drop? Do you guys think it's a good thing for this platform? Because it seems to be...
With moderation.
Okay. Tell me about that.
Not the amount we're seeing right now, because there is so many stealth drop on Stadia, and we're talking about major games. Like Ark was a stealth drop. Yeah. This is a stealth drop. Yeah. All big titles that people have been asking.
I would say
Control was a stealth drop as well. All games that people were asking for and waiting on the edge of their seat, and we don't even get a confirmation that the game is coming. People are not starting. A lot of people has lost confidence in Stadia because they don't know whether the game they want to play will come to the platform or not. Yeah. So a lot of people left away from Stadia because of that issue. And now they got Mafia 3 dropping, one of the heavily requested game. And they don't even do a tease about, like, they didn't even do a post a few weeks ago, like, oh, something's coming, and just like a hat or something, like, oh, hinting to Mafia. No, just a stealth drop again. A lack of advertising. I see more of this as a lack of advertising more than a surprise stealth drop, personally.
I think it's worse than that, actually, because...
Damn, Ben.
So...
Jeez Louises, man.
Ark was promised. Stadia announced it back in, April? May?
For the beginning of the year.
No, they announced it. Yeah, it was beginning of the year. You're right. It was February, and they said it was coming by the first end of the first half of the year. So it should have come by at the latest the end of June, and it just hit a month ago.
It's worse than that. They announced it like back in October or something like that.
Why do you guys keep saying this worse than that? How much worse can this get?
It's the fact that they look like they're a complete organizational mess, which it is. So they look like so not only do the users have no confidence in them, but it also looks like they have no idea what they're doing. Because there's no promotion, there's no marketing, there's no advertising. They look like, when it comes out, if it's a mess, who's going to fix it? Because it's finally out, but what's going to happen? Like the same thing happened with, what was that one game from the studio that they bought that was a mess for like a month?
Journey to the Savage Planet.
Yeah, exactly. Same thing. So it took them a month to fix it. And it was a studio that they bought. They had all the resources. So they fired everybody. What was that, Duncan?
How's Outriders at the moment?
Yeah.
Okay.
So and then with Mafia, so they actually announced Mafia. They teased about
Yes,
it.
I'm going to be positive. So you can come to me next if you want
Okay,
positive. I'm going to be
yes,
positive.
yes.
Okay, so
We'll
Mafia,
light it up a little bit. Go ahead.
they talked about Mafia back in May of 2020, I think is what it was. So it's been like a year and a half that it's been trying to come, and all of a sudden it's here out of nowhere. But there's been no talk about it since.
Did
Was
they
it not-
talk about it, or it was just a rating that was spotted?
There was a rating, but I thought somebody at
No.
Stadia mentioned it as well, if I remember correctly.
It was in the Connect, and I was pretty sure that the trilogy was coming.
No, it's not the trilogy. It's
Was
only
it
Just
Mafia.
2 and
Was it
3.
only the third one? Ah,
2
Two
and
and
3.
2 and 3.
Oh, 2 and 3. So we're not getting the best ever Mafia. The first one.
Yeah, the
Either way,
remaster. Yeah.
I ended
okay.
up buying it on PC to play in Shadow because it just didn't seem
With
to be
ray
coming on
tracing.
Stadia.
All right, let's make it light a little bit. Duncan, this is crazy to say. Let's make it light and we go to Duncan. All right, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Okay, I've got a wee bit of negativity. I'll do my negativity first. I think it's an absolute shambles this week for the blog post because 3 days before this, the Stadia Pro games have came out. We've had 3 different versions of the Pro games, and it's an absolute shambles by any sort of imagination. On Tuesday we had 5 games. On Wednesday we had 4 games. And then on Friday, we're back up to 5 games with Mafia. Absolute shambles again. And
let me ask you a question real quick. Sorry. Why do you think that keeps happening?
It's just like if they found that Mafia 3 was hiding in a drawer somewhere, they didn't remember it was there. It's like, oh, we had 5 games, but now we're at 4. Oh, wait, we got this one.
That's pretty much what it feels like.
And just to go back to Ben's point here about the talking about this, they tweeted out about Mafia. There's no blog post. Mafia is probably one of the biggest games come to Stadia this year. I'm not saying the biggest ones, but probably one of the biggest AAA games coming this year. It was a tweet at 1:30 UK time, 1:30 in the morning, and there's no blog post. Again, very, very US centric still. They really need to get out from that, and you need to remember there's people across this side of the pond as well. Okay, on to the positive now. Get ready to clip this, people. I think Stadia's had a pretty good week this week.
They have.
I'm not saying it was like, oh my god, knock it out from the park, but they have got FIFA. If we take out the shambles of the blog posts and non-blog posts and non-announcements, the pro games are pretty decent. I was pretty happy with the pro games before the changes, and I'm happier now with Mafia coming. I know there's been a lot of talk about Mafia's port out there. There's a bit of dodginess for me. I have mentioned it did feel janky in a couple of places, but all in all, for me, it's perfectly playable. Yeah. It's in a decent enough spot. It looks okay. And some 30 FPS games on Stadia, I've said it before, make me actually feel sick. This one wasn't, and I was playing for a while. I think they've had a pretty good week here. The console offer as well. There's so much there they could actually go and do, but again, they're just not talking enough.
So it's quite interesting because, when this news, the blog post was like, it was okay, right? But then you saw GFN with EA, I was like, holy crap. And then you saw my Xbox, which we'll get into here with Tokyo Game Show, games after games after games that Thursday, and then Luna dropped the bomb. I was like, yo, what? How can Stadia match this, right? And then again, Mafia. But somebody was saying they felt like they just pulled this one off, and it might have been, like maybe they were saving this one for quite some time, and they're like, yo, these guys are, firing at all cylinders. We need to combat that a little bit. But yeah, it's just the timing is pretty interesting. But yeah.
For me, I'll rate the week here just from a pure news sort of perspective and how I actually see it. It's hard to actually compare GFN and xCloud because I think them two are both up there for different sort of reasons. We've got more of the countries being announced for both of them. So if I'm going to give it an edge, I'm going to give it an edge to GFN this week, followed by xCloud and Stadia in third place, despite Stadia having a good week and Luna way down the bottom. I know we've got
the polls are saying differently, Duncan. The polls are saying Stadia's second, man.
Yeah. But we know how them polls work anyway. Stadia could drop one game and it'll be the second best or maybe the first best one anyway. But again, it's people's opinions and everybody's entitled to them. But for me, it's xCloud and GFN are neck and neck, maybe GFN slightly ahead. And Shadow News, if we get to it, I think is pretty decent as well. So it has been a good week for cloud gaming overall.
Yeah. Okay. Who GTP? Did we hit you yet? Go ahead, man.
No, you didn't. I mean, I
don't think he wants to talk. He doesn't want to talk.
GTP, go ahead.
Look, I'm gonna do two things really quickly, and I know we're short on time. From a technical side and the tester side, the Mafia game is nice, but it's not. Duncan's right that the 30 FPS is much more stable and it doesn't give you the motion sickness that some of us suffer from other 30 FPS games in the cloud, Valhalla for instance on there, right? But at the same time, the port just feels so rushed, very much like Darksiders 2, that they just didn't have the resources or care to bring the game to at least 60 FPS. Yes, the game looks good, but it's not graphically demanding in any way, shape, or form. And it could have been at least 1080 60. And you guys know, I think 4K is a buzzword. I think it is a little bit overkill. I think a clean 1080 60 is good, but 1080 30 in 2021 on a game like that for me still is pretty unacceptable and just shows, even more importantly, there's just a lack of caring from somebody on that. And then on top of that, we have 1080p to 1800p games on Stadia that get the treatment of at least the upscale. They get the game upscale and or the stream upscale. This game, just like SpongeBob and some other ones, doesn't even get the 4K stream upscale, so you're just locked 1080p no matter what with the game running at 30, and it just could have been nicer. Yeah. Super playable. I get it. It doesn't give the motion. There's things about it that are good, but I'm sorry for the quality of games we're looking at these days. For me, it was just unacceptable. When I jumped in, I just expected more. From a personal side with Stadia, I've been kicked many, many times for my love for Stadia, and people think I hate it because of the way I talk about it, and I don't. And it's hard to get excited. So everyone wants to say it's a good week. I get it. I get the games. I get the pro games. I get Mafia and all that, but the port's not that great. And here I am talking about GeForce Now with partnerships and games coming. I'm talking about xCloud, buying studios, getting games, 8 games in cloud this week that matched Game Pass. We're talking about Luna, who's lighting a fire and growing more. They got New World as a success. Nintendo's on fire. Sony's on fire. PS Now announcements are coming. They're buying up studios. And I'm looking at Stadia that has lost EA, lost 2K, lost Capcom. They're probably not coming back. FIFA 22 is great, but why would I buy it on Stadia this year when I'm probably not going to have 23 on the platform next year? And this is just coming from a gamer who loved the platform when it came out. And we're 2 years in, and I'm looking at studios leaving. I'm looking at less games coming. I'm looking at this time last year when we sat here and talked about all the great games coming in 2021. I can't sit here and talk that way about 2022. Other than Ubisoft, we may not have much other than Ubisoft and indie, and it really bothers me. I'm really bothered by the direction of Stadia. I got to keep it real. I got to be honest. I used to just love it, and I'm seeing a slowdown, while everybody else is amping up, and I don't know how you can see it any other way. And I still love the platform, but they have messed up, and I got to be honest.
Love it. No,
I
appreciate that.
Most of the complaints that I've had with Stadia for months have been business decisions. It's not their performance. It's not that the games don't work or that the games aren't great with the ones that they have. It's the fact that they are so behind everybody else in terms of business and marketing and strategy. Like, they look like they have no strategy and they're just waiting to die. Like, that's what it looks like.
Wow.
In terms of, like, they're 2 years old. They should be coming out stronger now than when they did. Like, it's fine to have like a lull, you're like towards the end of your first year, your second year, but at this point they should be ramping up again. This is where you hit your stride.
We
You
should
either
be
hit
hearing about next year's contracts, Ben.
Exactly.
And this is where, like Monkey Boy, to answer you, no, we don't have proof to put out here and show you. But last year, we had proof of contracts to show you of games coming. There aren't any. We're not hearing of any. And all of us have some kind of source that we talk to. We talk in the background. There's no buzz. There's nothing coming from any of these companies that we're hearing on a lot of this kind of stuff. What is the no? What is the no?
You're not allowed to say you have a source if you don't.
I'm allowed to say whatever I want to say. I can say whatever I want to say. I'm always so quiet about Stadia and
Go
all these
ahead,
things.
Jim.
And you know what? And I always talk about everything from a Game Tech Planet standpoint because my channel is 100% unbiased because I love gaming.
Sure.
All the testing is unbiased. But I wanted to take a moment just from my heart as a gamer to talk about where I see Stadia at, and someone who's also run businesses all his life. And when I see things like this, it's usually red flags. Now, if I could get proved wrong and all of a sudden we see a big return of EA contracts, Capcom contracts, FIFA 23 is coming, I'll be the first one out here saying, yes, GTP was such an asshole. He was wrong last year and the games are great. Go ahead and prove me wrong. But right now, I'm not seeing it. I don't see proof of either direction. I just see Stadia sitting there with no proof of anything really coming next year. And it's really disheartening.
Is anyone able to name anyone at Stadia, working at Stadia, in the leadership?
Phil Harrison, bro. What you mean, man?
You can't even name him as you can't even name him as leadership, because in terms of all official documentation, he is a VP at Google. He does not have Stadia in his title.
It used to be
He is
Stadia.
VP of Google. If you look at his LinkedIn and everywhere online,
No.
him,
So
he is a VP of Google.
Hold up. When they hired that dude, what's his name?
He
Jack
was
Buser,
head of,
right? When
he
they
was head of Stadia. That was his
I know,
title.
but they promoted him. They actually said where Phil was going. So you guys keep talking while I pull that up.
There's also go ahead.
I have a theory that Grace is on her way out. Like, I don't even know because she shut down her personal Discord server.
Whoa, guys, we can't say that, bro.
This is a theory. I don't know. Nothing's official. She shut down her Discord server. Why would you do that as a community manager for something?
Damn.
Dude,
this is just my opinion and my speculation.
Come on, we'll be talking about Fly Earth in a minute.
Guys, I want this podcast to stay alive, man.
I didn't mean to open a door. I picked 1 week to be honest about feeling on a platform, and everybody's opening the door. There's no hate.
Here's the deal. No,
GTP.
GTP, we respect that. That's what this is all about. And again, for people who think like where yes man would try to go one direction, and no, this everyone's entitled to the opinion, and I appreciate you just being honest, man. That's what's all about. But keep go. Who didn't we cover here, Ben? We got your thoughts. Go ahead, Monkey.
FIFA is on Stadia. It's got a load of players, like thousands of players. That's good. It doesn't have crossplay.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Are you sure?
So where's it? Why haven't Stadia told us? Why haven't EA told us it has crossplay? If it's got crossplay, surely they would have told us.
Stadia advertising?
Stadia would not advertise that.
It's not just down Stadia, it's down at EA as well.
So does FIFA, people in this chat, does FIFA have crossplay on Stadia? Let us know, man. Let us know. Last I heard, like, I'm under the assumption that it doesn't because it wasn't announced. But if it is, let me know. Let me know. Jason, Jay, what is good, man? You here for the drama, man? But
I mean, other than that, I think it's been a good week for Stadia.
It has been.
It's been a good week.
Just remember, it's game streaming and Stadia.
All right, so hold up. Since we're like in this, looking at the time, I want to leave about like 10 to 12 minutes to cover Xbox Cloud Gaming.
So I take that back. You're right. It does not have it.
Not officially.
You're right. It does not. It does not have it.
Okay.
Oh, there seems to be something with the PlayStation 5 sort of numbers going on with FIFA at the moment. It was earlier in the week where PlayStation 5 was having about the same numbers as Stadia. Very, very suspicious like that.
Obviously a bug in PlayStation then because there's millions of PlayStation users.
But let me just address this issue real quick because it's in the title. But the FIFA comparison video that we did, yeah, guys, I did a live chat about the situation. So some of you guys might think we're trying to make Stadia look bad. That's not the case. It was an HDR doctoring footage. It's an HDR fuchsia. And proof of that is if you look at the Mafia video that we just did, guess what we did? We went back to the OG Chromecast Ultra, took out HDR, and you see the difference. So moving forward, we're not going to be recording with the Google Chromecast TV in HDR because that just throws off the color. But just want to clarify that.
But no one else's streams look like that.
Say what?
No one else's streams look like that. I'm just going to play devil's advocate. Like, everyone else's looked beautiful, the best you could ever fucking see in your life. It was just us. We doctored it because we hate Stadia. That's why we did it.
Minions, be quiet.
But so just want to let you guys know where we are with that. We've moved on. We've made changes. We've listened to you guys. So going forward, just so you know, and the reason I'm saying this is because it's something that we're going to hear is that you guys are not showing off Stadia to its best abilities. If you want to do that, you have to use the Google Chromecast TV. And that's what we did. And you guys are going to say you have to use HDR. That is what that looks like. So if you guys are not okay with that, we're going back to just Chromecast Ultra, no HDR. And if you watch the Mafia video, that's what it is. And so it looks a lot better. But going forward, that's how we're going to be comparing. But again, just thought I'll cover that here real quick.
And Ace, to be honest, that's excellent because everybody kind of getting a vision of what just happened, even though that was a rough couple of days there for CGX with some things going on, that was a good learning experience for the community, for other testers, for methods, and for people understanding what it takes, you know, to go through and make these videos, the settings, trying to get everything correct. And I agree, HDR has no place for these types of videos because it just becomes a mess. Like going back to the standard will be the way to go. SDR testing is the way to go. When you're comparing graphics, resolution, stream, whatever, SDR is the way to go. If people want to experience HDR, that's great, but HDR, even for local and everything else, just really doesn't have a place in comparisons.
Yeah. So I just want to say, I did that live chat and, you know, I did address the community because something I brought up was I felt like that bullyish mentality, that mob mentality had to stop. And a lot of people hit me back afterwards. And I've noticed it's calmed down. So shout outs to the community for listening and for making changes, right? People should be allowed to say what they want to say about Google Stadia. And that's okay. If you guys don't agree, just don't agree, move on. You don't have to put people down. You don't have to be bullyish. And it seems like the community responded well to that. So hopefully moving forward, like GTP was saying, it's a lesson. We learn, right? Chromecast, Google TV with Chromecast HDR is not a good way to record footage, but hopefully the community learns it's not okay to attack people, right? So learn the experience for everyone. So we're just gonna move on, right? Anyone else has anything to say about Google Stadia? Space, did you say your piece on Stadia's news?
I opened a Pandora's box, didn't I?
Oh shoot. Okay, let's move
me
past
talking.
that, bro. Let's move past that.
He got me talking, which started the rest of it.
Can we just say next week is going to be another good week for Stadia?
Far Cry.
Far Cry's coming. So it's going to be, they're going to have the momentum going here. But just to go back to Jerry's point, we're starting to run out now. We can list off. Barry Paramedic Games actually put a tweet out there a couple of days ago listing out what are likely going to be the last 30 or so games coming to Stadia over the next couple of months, because we know it's about 100. We're up around that there. There's going to be a couple of stealth drops here and there, but we know more or less what is coming, and then it's starting to look very, very thin out there.
Yeah. That's my issue. Again, I talked about this last. If you guys want to see like me kind of not, I don't want to say mad, but just passionate, I guess, watch last week's podcast, because again, GTP always says, right, it doesn't hit you until a game that you leave doesn't come to, a game that you like doesn't come to your platform. And for me, that was NBA 2K. So when we started talking about that, you guys saw probably a different side of me. That's because, again, passionate about the game, passionate about Google Stadia. That game not coming, still pissed off. But let's move on, man. Xbox Cloud Gaming, thoughts about it? We got some. So it's quite interesting because GTP, I heard you say 8 games. I'm counting 5 to 6. Like, how many games released for this platform?
A ton this week.
Yeah,
a ton. Eight games hit cloud and Game Pass. Like, it was amazing because usually we see a fragmentation of console, cloud, PC, especially with cloud taking off. No, if you go on the Game Pass app on PC and look at recently added, it matches game for game for 8 games to cloud. Yeah, it's great. Avengers, Unsighted, Astria Ascending, Mighty Goose, Scarlet Nexus, AI, The Seminum Files, Lemnis Gate, Dandy Ace. Lost Words may have been another one, but those are the 8. Like, I was like, wow, this match. That's why. Yes. I was like, wow, they did a heck of a job this week. And it got overshadowed by a lot of the EA stuff with GFN. That's why I made a video yesterday on Xbox and xCloud, because I was like, wow, they had a freaking killer week too. These are great titles. And that's where I started jumping into Scarlet Nexus and Avengers on xCloud and stuff. And it was good. Like Duncan says, content. When I saw the content, I was jumping in. I had to.
All right. So this is the list here. Again, Avengers, Unsighted, Astra Ascendant, Scarlet Nexus, AI. I hear people saying this was a PlayStation exclusive at one point. Dandy Ace, don't know what this is. Wait, hold up.
Some are missing, and you got to understand, sometimes these don't refresh the same. I had to reinstall my PC app to get all of this working because Monkey knows the recently added is a joke. Sometimes it does not update either on the browser, on the thing, or on the app, and it becomes a problem. And you got to search for the games. That shooting game
should be right here.
Yes.
That shooting.
I uninstalled everything. I uninstalled my browser. I uninstalled the PC app for Xbox. I reinstalled all of it, and now my recently added is up to date. Things are proper, and everyth's working. So it's a bug. It's a problem.
Look, it's different now.
See now, see, and it's not even right now, but it's different.
I've got a list here if you want to share my screen.
Let me see if we can even do that.
But it took me some work to get the recently added fixed. That's why I was messaging Hellmonkey like, yo, do this, and see if it fixes your recently added or not. But it was a hell of a week. They had a strong few days there.
They did. If you want, I don't know if we can share your screens. Oh wait, hold up. No, we can. Sweet deal. Oh, that's cool.
So there's Marvel's Avengers.
There it is.
Unsighted, Astria Ascending, Scarlet Nexus, AI to Summon Files, Mighty Goose, Lemnis Gate, Dandy Ace, and you have to move to the next page.
Yeah.
Lost Words and Sable. Yep. That's in the previous week, those. So. Yeah.
So again, really impressive stuff, man. And it's crazy. Thursday, because of Tokyo Game Show, you just saw these games like pop up one by one. It was like AI. I remember texting the group. I was like, what the hell is AI? And then next we had this other game. Like, what's going on? They just kept
popping up.
They just kept popping. But it's a good selection of games, man. Gives you guys a lot to play who have Xbox Cloud Gaming or Game Pass or xCloud, whatever you want to call it. But I'm just going to open it up for the sake of time. I do want to cover the PlayStation rumor. So I'm just going to open this up. What do y'all thought on the games that came to Xbox Cloud Gaming?
Really good week. Scarlet Nexus is one of those games that I toyed with buying. I'll put it off.
Yeah.
Tales of Arise came along. Me and Holtz had some private discussions about RPGs and things, and I thought, I'm diving into this. And then I said Scarlet Nexus is going to be the next one because I didn't pull the trigger. So when that dropped this week, I thought, that's good for me. I'll not have to drop $50-$60 on that. Superb. But what I am going to do, though, this is going to sound strange because cloud gaming is supposed to be convenient, but I'm going to drop Game Pass for PC onto my Shadow and install it there, because that pixelation issue that you get in games on xCloud is just really annoying. That's why I don't play Forza anymore. It wasn't getting any better. If anything, it was getting worse. I'm like, nah, I need to. But I can't keep spending 60 quid in a game every 2 days. so I'm gonna use my Shadow to my advantage here and play Xbox on there.
Yeah, that's an issue, man. That's an issue, right? Again, Series X Blade is here. They've been working until. Here's my thing. I thought moving forward, right, the new ports, new games that they got, I felt like the old games might struggle with visuals, but it's like moving forward, the new games, hopefully, the process should be easy for them. Not easy, but doable for them to port in. We wouldn't see this pixelated nonsense. But it's still an issue. And to me, that's concerning. What's to say the new Forza and the new Halo wouldn't have this issue moving forward, right? So
yeah, as a worry, because there's loads of content coming to Xbox that I think a lot of us are excited about. The day ones, the exclusives, and that are going to the cloud. And you really don't want to be having this issues. When you play your games, you want the best experience possible.
Yeah,
mate, I would even give him time, man. Honestly,
no, I love Monkey Boy. I love Monkey Boy.
Nah, he's like a dog with a bone, man. He needs to just give it up.
Monkey style.
Hey, man,
I like
all
Monkey
sides.
Boy,
everybody can say what they want, right? I see people over here telling me how much I hate Stadia. I'm not going to jump out and try to prove them wrong. I don't hate Stadia. I've never been a Stadia hater. I think the tech is amazing. But I'm going to be honest. Like, come on.
How do you check how many hours?
There's a line being crossed right now with some people and comments and things. You just need to watch your tone. The way I see it, guys, if I could just get extremely real for a minute here, if you are not confident to say anything to somebody's face, don't sit behind a desk and type it out. Have a little self-respect, and then you can learn some respect for others as well. So please.
Okay. All right, let's move. I'm curious though, because this is funny. 2K is probably my most.
And now I want to know, like, how many.
Yeah, I'm curious too. How do you check how many hours you have?
If you click into the game
show
name,
next year.
Okay. And then what?
If you scroll down your list of games, or under your achievements or whatever, it tells you how many hours you've played it.
Yeah,
I'm on PC though. I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, you click your like
icon?
you got the social icon at the top to the right. You go to view profile, and you'll see your profile there, and you should have the number of hours.
All right, I'm gonna share my screen. You guys walk me through this real quick. Sorry, I'm a noob here.
I'll talk quickly about Xbox.
Go ahead. You guys talk. Let me figure this out.
I'm just going to take it to the other thing. What I was more excited about than the games was the expansions. The expansions into Japan, Australia, Brazil, and Mexico, going into the key sort of markets we have been talking about. I think that is really, really exciting and pushing the brand out there. And hopefully we are going to see a bit more of that going forward. I think it's... I know Holtz should be excited about this, and Hellmonkey as well, and with the Japanese support, because they are really trying to hammer home the Japanese support. I want more variety of games, and this is one of the real big things I'm passionate about, is for when xCloud, GFN, and all the different streaming platforms move into different countries. I'm hoping we're going to see some new developers come out from these countries and give us new types of games, new stories, new everything. So I want as much expansion going out there as possible. And Polaris is a superstar. I'm just saying that.
To go to your profile, you got the two little guys at the top to the right, next to not your icon. But there's the two little guy for social. Go to the left a bit.
Left here?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you click on your own name at the top.
It's not showing as hours.
CGX and view profile.
Oh, sweet.
It's showing you. You can click see all to see all of your titles.
Here we go.
And you'll have the amount of time you played.
Sweet. All right, keep going. We got not a lot of time. while I pull this out. Anyone else hop in?
141 hours.
That's like my Assassin's Creed Odyssey time. Jesus,
right?
Crazy.
See, Monkey Boy, I told you that was one of Ace's favorite games.
Yeah.
All right, let me pull up the other 2K because that's on here.
You
too.
probably have more than that on there.
Probably do. Here we go. 205
There you go.
hours,
Yeah.
bro. Come on, man.
That's
Like,
consistency.
That's your go-to game. That's
my
yeah.
game.
Those are the
Yes.
games that you play the most.
Just look at this. You have to learn how to rebound. I don't know what else I can do.
But nah, just want to put that out, man. When it comes to 2K, don't at me, man.
No, man, you're legit with 2K.
Sure, you will lose that. All right. So anyone else with Xbox?
Back when Ace used to do live streams on Twitch and stuff at night at 11 o'clock at night my time, it was always NBA 2K. It was never anything else.
Always. It's my baby, man. It's my baby. But yeah, so I got salty last week. Again, if you guys want to see me pissed off, that's probably it. Anywho, anyone else with Xbox Cloud Gaming?
I'm sorry, I have to take the bait. GFM runs FPSs absolutely fine.
I was going to say, Battlefield 1 is killing it. Yep.
Yeah, it is rocking it there. I think that is either... I would probably advise you to maybe go play that on GFN as well. And even we'll keep Monkey happy here as well. On Shadow as well. FPSs run well on Shadow as well.
One word and a number.
All right, so Monkey, at this point, I just think you're trolling, man. I just think I'm not even gonna bother with this anymore, man.
I don't think Ace owns.
You
no, I don't know.
Every console that Ace has bought has been to resell. Like it's never for himself.
Trust me, I've tried to get Ace to plug one in so he would keep it. I never could get. Trust me, he doesn't have a console.
I don't own a console here, man.
No.
I'll show you my babies though. I have all of these stuff here, all handheld. If I if I was to, my tech can buy me multiple consoles. I have all these stuff that I play around with, but no, I do not own.
Ace is a purist when it comes to cloud gaming.
I am. It's crazy. I can easily get a console, but I choose not to. Anywho, anyone else for Xbox Cloud Gaming? Just troll it, man. It's crazy. We done? Okay.
I guess. Want to fit in any of the PS or Shadow, go for it.
All right, so jeez.
Well, there's a rumor that PlayStation's bringing PS5 to PS Now.
That too.
Coming back.
Did you hear about the October games coming? The Last of Us 2 supposed to be on there.
That would be sick.
I'm gonna pull it up. But you guys just talk. Let me pull it up.
I'll resub to PlayStation if Last of Us 2 comes on.
I have it. I'm so excited. PlayStation.
I'll just do a bit of sport. I'm actually playing The Last of Us 2 at the moment, and I've just got to a part where I'm like, what am I meant to be doing here? I'm just running around in an ice cream field going, what am I meant to be doing?
An ice cream field? Where's that? Is it vanilla or mint chocolate chip?
Oh, you go back in your box. Or I'm going to put that. That's it. No. You're asking for it. There we go. We're back on the list.
Oh my gosh. Sorry, y'all. Sorry.
This is the only podcast where you're going to find two guys with accents arguing with each other over who can understand what the other one's saying. It's great.
All right, so here it is, y'all. This is someone took a screenshot. Again, rumor is PS Now as The Last of Us 2 is you seeing it right here. PlayStation Now recently added to PSN. Bam, and then you got Fallout 76 and Final Fantasy 8 remastered. So
I think Chief doctored that for everyone. Must have been. He's really good at doctoring things. Must be fake.
You think it's fake? I don't know, man. This looks
look at the game at the bottom there to the left.
This.
I say
But,
take
yeah.
it with a grain of salt that these are the games,
true.
but it would be
True.
awesome
It would
if
be
it
great.
was.
It'll be great. And if this comes, it's going to stay because Sony recently, I hope it stays, but recently they've been keeping the first party games with
No,
God
they
of
did
War.
announce that officially too, Ace, that
Yeah.
every exclusive that comes now to PS Now will stay. Yeah,
Will
which would
stay.
be awesome. So you know when you start it, even if you're
Yeah.
just on a PC, you're not going to get screwed like I did with Spider-Man
Yeah,
last
oh
year
my
when they pulled it
gosh.
when I was like halfway through,
my
so I couldn't
gosh.
play.
Yeah.
There's also
So-
another rumor about PlayStation that Jim Ryan might be doing an not announced, but a speech next month about the past and the future of PlayStation. So like a keynote they'll do about what direction they're going to take and how it's going.
Wow, that'd be interesting.
That'd be
So
cool.
we've been waiting on that for a while.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, that would be cool. Again, hopefully, they've been working on a cloud solution. And these rumors of Ghost of, if this is coming, I think we can see like Ghost come in like November or this December. So that would be like their big hitters, man. And if they can bring Spider-Man back, most Sony's big hitters would be on here, which again, exclusives, man. Be pretty cool.
If we see The Last of Us Part 2, it won't be long until we see the Uncharted
That's what
collection.
I'm saying. Yep. And then Ghost 2. I would love to play Ghost of Tsushima.
Do you know what wouldn't surprise
It's a
me?
great game.
Yeah.
If PlayStation did make their PS5 games available via likes of PlayStation Now, but you still had to pay for them, like
I wouldn't mind
that's,
that.
yeah, I wouldn't mind that
I
either.
wouldn't mind that.
If
Enable purchases on PS Now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
People have been asking for that.
I mean, if they're so
Exactly, yeah.
concerned about like, losing money, shoot.
They
I
don't
would
put
pay.
that much on hardware. They started making the PlayStation 5 profitable, but it's the software that's giving them the money.
That's how Sony always rolls with their
So-
hardware. Eventually the consoles will start making them money, but in the
If you
beginning,
compare it with the
they're not.
Xbox, the current Xbox app that allows you to play locally on PC, allows you to play in the cloud on PC and on mobile, allows you to play on consoles. Xbox is no longer a device. Xbox is an ecosystem,
Right.
and PlayStation needs to step it up and do the same.
So think about we got to cut this off because we're like 5 minutes over. But think about like the future of consoles,
fault.
right? No, you're good. So when did the PlayStation 6 and next Xbox come out, right? So the beginning of a launch cycle is where most companies, except from Nintendo, right? But most companies, they kind of eat the cost because again, the hardware is new, they're trying to push it out. So whatever they sell, they don't make a lot of money back. But from the route that Xbox is taken with Game Pass, right? Imagine like the next Xbox, the next PlayStation, Game Pass has 80, million plus people subscription, right? That will start like making them money right out the bat with the next generation of consoles. So they don't have to worry about like the cost. So moving forward, people like Game Pass is not going to be sustainable, but I feel like in the long run, you're going to see it's going to pay off for them eventually. I think 10 years down the line. Anyway, just want to.
Game Pass is already paying off for them. I don't know if you guys saw the tweet that I shared earlier this week about Phil Spencer, where he was talking, and there was somebody else that worked at Microsoft as well. And they were asking about the success of Game Pass and the amount of subscribers. And the guy said, well, the last thing I checked, the last thing I saw that we announced officially was 30 million subscribers. And Phil Spencer was like, no, officially 18 million.
Oh,
But he kind of smiled because it's like
damn.
the guy that works there said 30 million, but the
shit.
last official number they said was 18. And that was Phil's correction, but he said it with a smile on his face, like, I can't confirm that. This is the last official number.
If you track back, PlayStation, there was a event that they spoke to all their investors, and there's the document that leaked. One of the pages of those document was talking about Sony's. So it wasn't a PlayStation event; it was a Sony event. But they were talking about their subscription plans for music, TV, and PlayStation. And we're talking about emerging markets and all that, and that their goal for the next few years was to reach 1 billion subscribers for any Sony services.
Yep.
And one of the mention of that is that they said PlayStation will be a major factor for all those subscription, while movies and music and everything will pitch into this. But PlayStation is one of the key factor they're encompassing on to try to reach 1 billion subscribers.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but with 1 billion subscriber to a gaming service, you're telling game developers, look, I can get like 500,000 people playing your game tomorrow
instantly,
and you're gonna make money like if you sold like 1 or 2 million copies.
It's powerful.
But 500,000 people playing your game, it gets your game extremely popular, and you're getting more money than if you tried to sell your game, which would probably have sold like 200,000 or 300,000 copies.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of money on the table that's just pulling together and raising every company. So indie studios end up having a lot of budget on their hands because they're jumping on the train for subscriptions.
Well, the other thing with subscriptions, even if you're not making as much money on the individual title, the amount of money you make on in-game purchases skyrockets.
Yeah.
You're adding value, so people are pitching in.
I think Game Pass is going to wake a lot of this company. I think most of them are already seeing what's happening. But I don't know if you guys saw Microsoft expansion. We didn't even talk about that, right? But they expanded to more countries. But they said with these countries now that they expanded to, they can reach the 1 billion goals. I don't know what that entails.
1 billion gamers, just across those countries.
Those countries alone. So it's quite interesting and fun. But we gotta wrap this up. We're like 8 minutes over. But guys, this was fun. Appreciate you, Monkey. Thank you for the super sticker, and Polaris. Thank you again for the super sticker as well. This was fun as always, Spaceman. Man, I love your intake, your feedback when it comes to the discussion. Glad that
Thank you for having me, man.
us. Absolutely, a lot of fun. All right, so just want to give members opportunity to just plug the channel so you can know where to find them. Duncan, what do you do, sir? Where can people find you?
You can find me on this channel right here every single day of the week.
Hopefully that's been clarified, man. It's crazy.
The Duncan of Oz.
Yes.
You can check me out at Cloudy with games on YouTube. We are doing a load of things. I think we're playing Halo tomorrow night to give that award to see how that actually runs. So if anybody wants to jump in, they can jump in. We're trying to mix things up. We're starting this with the big run into Halo coming in, the xCloud down the line.
Cool. How about you, GTP? What do you do, sir? And where can people find you?
So I upset people at Game Tech Planet. No, I promise you, everything I do is with passion and with as much unbiased as possible. Trust me. Yeah. It's all about testing and trying to help out. More importantly, the consumer who's going to spend money on all this stuff. That's the whole point of a lot of this, is to help people decide where to spend their money. But yeah, Game Tech Planet, Twitter, Facebook, and on YouTube, anything for cloud, console, and PC. And we're just getting into the gaming season, so we got a busy 3 months.
Nice. Good stuff, man. I love GTP's vids in comparison, so make sure you check that out for sure.
I'm kind of sad though, because today I realized I don't work for CGX. Like I kept thinking, like the panel is CGX. Oh no, it's not. No, it's not. Man, I'm not CGX.
I'm glad that we're clearing that up. It's so crazy. Monkey, go ahead.
Breaking news just before we go. Shadow are advertising jobs.
Shit.
It just popped up. Stay tuned. Something will be happening with that very soon.
Interesting. Okay, good to know. Thanks for that. How about you, Ben? What do you do, sir? Where can people find you?
I mean, I recently started getting back into streaming and content creation. Cloud Trip and Entertainment on Twitch, YouTube as well, if you prefer that. I'm basically simultaneous streaming to both. So.
Cool. Good to have you, Ben. Dr. Space, what do you do, sir? Where can people find you?
You can find me weekly on the panel for Cloud Nation TV. We used to make it on Wednesday evenings, but we might be switching it over to Thursdays.
Nice.
And also, I've got my YouTube channel, Dr.Spaceman, which is less active these days. I'm more on Twitch at the moment. So, Dr. Spaceman Games on there. And streaming a lot of New Worlds these days is pretty much what I'm doing.
That's awesome. As you guys heard the man here call you that. Very insightful, very knowledgeable. So make sure you give him a look, man. Guy knows his stuff for sure.
Thanks,
Monkey,
Ace.
yeah, for sure, man. Good to have you as always, man. Monkey, do you want to plug anything?
Pray for me. I have a stock take at work tomorrow, and it's going to take all day.
Okay.
Other than that, I got a couple of days off this week. Maybe get a wee stream going. Hopefully, get some more gameplay videos out. I'll be on the news as soon as I can.
You gonna check out Cloud VR again? You good with Cloud? You done?
No, we'll get it. We'll get it.
All right, cool. But yeah, guys, this was a lot of fun. Appreciate you guys again. Awesome week for cloud gaming as a whole. Like Duncan was saying, next week, at least for Google Stadia and Amazon, everyone. This game is coming out on every platform except xCloud. So it's going to be a pretty big week for cloud gaming next week as well. So definitely tune in here. We will have the show next Saturday, 2 p.m. same time. Appreciate you guys. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Till next time. Peace out.